Good morning and welcome. What a beautiful thing to start our morning in gratitude. Thank you, Ginger. So we have a beautiful service planned this morning. Reverend Paul is giving our talk, and I just want to tell you all that I'm really grateful that each and every one of you is here. Every week that goes by, and I'm up here at Sunday service, I feel more and more like I just have this big, nurturing, wonderful, loving family around me. So I'm very grateful. So thank you.
Right. That is so true. We were just so blessed by you. I was thinking about the talk today, and I'm there's no place that I am more loved than right here. So thank you all. I love you. So if you will repeat after me, I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and peace. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and complete health. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and abundance. And so it is.
I'm a little out in space today. Sorry. I invite each and every one of you um, really settle within yourselves. Become aware of the space in your heart. You know that space to be a portal to the divine in this space of love. We embrace our own being and we know the oneness and the perfection of the divine. And we know that oneness to be inclusive of each and every one of us in this room here and in this room. We're all in the same room. And our entire community is blessed in nurturing, loving presence, this awareness of the truth of our being. As we embark upon this service this morning, we continue in this awareness, in this peace, in this love, in this oneness, in this joy, and in this harmony and happiness of being. We express deep gratitude and loving appreciation for all that is right here and right now. And let us begin. Thank you.
Your kingdom of God is at hand. The riches, power, glory, and might of this kingdom are yours today. You do not rob others by entering into this fullness of your kingdom of joy, your kingdom of abundance. You recognize that all people belong to the same kingdom. From merely claiming for yourself what you would that the law of good should do unto all. There is no law of human heredity imposed upon you. Evil has no history. Limitation has no past. That which is opposed to good has no future. The eternal now is forever filled with the presence of perfect life. You always have been and forever will remain a complete and perfect expression of the eternal mind, which is God, the living spirit. Today, I enter into the limitless variations of self-expression that the divine projects into my experience, knowing that all experience is a play of life upon itself, the blossoming of love into self-expression, the coming forth of good into joy of its own being. I enter into the adventure of living with joyful anticipation, with enthusiasm. Today, I enter into my divine inheritance, shaking my thoughts clear from the belief that external conditions are imposed upon me. I declare the freedom of my divine nature. Your kingdom of God is at hand. This is from 365 Sons of Mind, page 246.
Thank you, Norman. Beautiful reading. Yeah. So, what Norman just said, we're going to affirm that. So we'll do a call and response. So, I am one with God.
I am one with God.
I am unconditional love.
I am unconditional love.
As the magnificent expression of this divinity, I am guided by its presence.
As the magnificent expression of this divinity, I am guided by its presence.
In perfect harmony with the good of the divine,
In perfect harmony with the good of the divine,
I let go and let God.
I let go and let God.
And so it is. Thank you.
So let it go. Things will turn out right now. We Thank you. That was by request. Paul asked me to sing that about a year ago. This was the perfect time.
I got it muted. So thank you, Ginger. She learned that song from me. It's lyrics from Into the Woods by Stephen Sondheim. But it states and exemplifies that we're not alone. No matter where we are in our lives, no matter what's going on, the divine is always with us. I recently was having we were in a ministerial meeting, and Reverend Catherine and I were just talking, and I'd said something, and I said, I don't affirm that. I don't align with that. I don't agree with that. And then my next thought was, I want to agree with the divine. I agree with the divine. And she goes, that would make a good talk. And I went, yes, you're right. I talked last time I was up here about in this realm, in the earthly realm, we look for agreement around the things that we want to be right about. And we know exactly who to go to for particular things. If it's politics and we're upset about politics, we know the exact person to go to talk about politics because they're going to agree with us. We're going to get agreement. Yes, exactly. What news station to listen to? Exactly, for the agreement. Perfect. Exactly. So we go to there and we get the agreement and we're right and they're wrong and yeah. But what we're not doing is standing in the divine. So in relationships, especially with our family, I know exactly who to go to talk about my sister. Okay? When I'm upset at my sister, I go to my other brother and go, boy, she did this and she did that. And he goes, oh yeah, she always does that. And I get agreement. And then I get to be right and make her wrong and all that. So we've got all the areas in our life covered. Finances. We're looking at, I don't have enough money. And sure enough, somebody shows up that goes, yeah, I know exactly what you're meaning. The economy is this and that and that and that. And that gives us every reason to stand in and agree with there isn't enough money. So we find agreement in our lives easily and effortlessly because that's what we're putting out there. And it's attracted to us and we find it and we feed off of it. Okay? So what would it be like to find and look for agreement with the divine? Would you rather agree with the infinite power in the universe? Wouldn't you rather agree with your kingdom of God is at hand? Right there. It's not far off. It's right here. The riches, power, glory, and mighty of the kingdom is yours today. I would like to agree with that every moment of every day. So it's affirming that we have the infinite power in the universe at our hand in every moment of every single day. I love this line too. You do not rob others by entering into the fullness of your kingdom of joy and your kingdom of abundance. You're not diminishing anybody else's chance of being with the divine by centering yourself in the divine. This exemplified itself just brilliantly for me just recently. One of my favorite phrases, one of my favorite affirmations is let go and let God. I'm affirming, I'm standing in, I'm in agreement with the divine taking care of my life. Now, if I'm standing in that God loves me unconditionally and wants nothing but my highest and best, then it's easy to do, right? But do we believe that? Do we stand in that? Do we know that to the core of our being? We step out it and we know it. We know when we're not standing in the divine. It is crystal clear. We're angry and upset and mad and frustrated and all of those. You know exactly when you're not standing in the divine. And that's when it's time to say, okay, let go, let God. I don't like this. I want to affirm and be in alignment with the divine. So my brother is in a nursing home in Houston, and he's thriving. He's doing very well. I got an idea to go down for his birthday, August 9th, and to see him, because we hadn't seen him for a little while. Called my brother and sister up and said, hey, let's go down. They said, great. The three of us will go down. We'll get some stuff done in the house, and we'll get to see Mark, take him out for his birthday. He has not left the place since last November. I wanted to get him out. So we get down there, and before this, Mark's calling me up, and I love my brother dearly, but he mainly calls when he wants my help around Vista. Vista is the place that he's staying. And it's like, okay, what am I going to have to deal with now? So he called me up and he said, man, my roommate, he said, I'm okay with it most of the time. It is what it is, but my roommate is fine. He lies in the bed, watches TV, whatever, but his wife, who's there 24/7, is killing me. She talks to him. He doesn't talk bad. She's got a loud voice and da, 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 da. He goes, I like the guy, but the wife's got to go. And so there's a curtain. All he's got is a curtain between the two of them. So he's listening to this. He actually is not listening to this. He goes to the TV room or anywhere but his own room. So he's talking about it, and sometimes he's okay with it, and sometimes it just drives him crazy. So I said, look, Mark, I'll talk to the social worker and have them talk to the director, and we'll get this resolved. I promise you I'll get this resolved. And I had to step back. Actually, it was more of a thought. It was a divine thought than anything of let go and let God. And I went, right, I don't have to be worried about this. I don't have to be anxious about this. I don't have to be angry at them, angry at her, angry at anybody. I can step back, listen to the divine, take divine action, and let go and let God. The infinite power in the universe has much more power than I do, but I have access to it. So it's going on. We get down there, we see him, we see the wife. Okay, Paul, all right. She's an expression of God. She's a glorious expression of God. So, but I did understand what was going on for Mark. He's literally having to leave his room most of the time. So as God will have it, that week while we were down there, the social worker had called me and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about Mark's his condition and everything that's going on." I said, there you go, God. I didn't have to arrange it. I didn't have to call anybody. She made it, and I'm there. Had a wonderful conversation. The couple is over there, and I sidled up to her and I said, "Okay." And Mark's right there. So I explained the situation to her, and Mark's expressing himself. So she understands that this is really an untenable situation, that Mark deserves as much attention and ability to have his room as the other person does. So we stayed out of, I completely stayed out of anger, completely just expressed from the divine. And she goes, "I got it. I'll talk to the director." So we were there for 3 more days. Nothing changed. We went out places to get away, and went out for a dinner that night for his birthday that night, and he was ecstatic. We had a blast. I called the place and said, "Can Mark have a beer?" And they said, "Oh yeah, sure." So Mark had a couple of beers. It was just glorious because I was letting go and letting God. I wasn't trying to manipulate anything. So we left. The situation was still what it was. Nothing had changed. Mark calls me the Monday after we left on Sunday and said, she just blew up at me. The woman just ripped me a new one. And he said, all I did, she went into the hallway. She was very loud. I went to the door and shut the door. And she went berserk. And I said, let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God. What am I going to do about this? Let go, let God, let go, let God. So I went, okay, Mark, I'll call the social worker. Not 15 minutes later, Mark calls me and goes, "They're moving him out. They're moving him to another room." And I went, yes. I didn't have to do a thing. I did nothing. They moved into a room so they can be alone and together. He's got his room. The head director of the place says to Mark, "We're not going to put another roommate in here." So he's the only person in the nursing home that doesn't have a roommate. And I didn't have to do anything but let go and let God. And I wasn't the whole time. I stepped back and went, God's got it handled. I did what I knew to do, which was I was inspired to talk to the social worker. And I did that. That was my action. That was my part of it. And then God took the rest of it. And it's the best situation that could possibly happen. Because I was in agreement with the divine. And we can do it. It's very simple. It's letting go of all of this, all of our attachment to I'm right and you're wrong, all the attachment to I want it this way, when there's an infinite possibility out there. I wouldn't have thought of this. I wouldn't have thought, oh, great, he's never going to have another roommate, and they're in a place that they love. They can be away, they can talk, and they can do with whatever they want. They've got their own room. I of myself can do nothing. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. It's telling us that we have everything we need, everything we want, everything we desire. The Lord is my shepherd. God is guiding me and providing everything for me. As long as we stand in it, as long as we affirm it, as long as we know it. Because God always says yes. And there's a difference between saying, the divine saying yes, and being in alignment with the divine. Because, let me explain this. Because things that happen to us that we don't like, right? We've all experienced that. When that happens, it's God saying yes, because it's what we've asked for. We've asked for that. When we're in hate, we're in anger, and resentment, and all of that, we're asking for more of that. And God goes, here you go. It's not a punishment. It's actually allowing us to recognize when we're in and out of the divine. It's an opportunity for us to grow. It's an opportunity for us to recognize the divine. And when we're centered in the divine and when we're not. So God's going, great, here you go. Here you go. Here it is. You asked for it. Here it is. But that doesn't mean that the divine is agreeing with it. The divine is pure, unconditional love. That's God's nature. So God doesn't see anger and resentment and hate because it's not in his nature. It's not in God's nature. Forgive me for using his. I try and avoid that with all cost, because then it puts God in human realm. And I don't want to do that. So the divine only sees our highest and best. Only sees the magnificence of who we are. Only sees the good in all of us. Because that's what the divine is. That's the divine's nature. So there's nothing, when we see evil, hatred, all of that, it's our own eyes seeing that. It's us interpreting that. It's us defining that. It's us choosing that. But the divine's not standing there with us. The divine is not there. The divine is here where we are, but not in our thoughts and our perception of what is happening. It's negative. The divine loves us unconditionally, always, in every single moment, every thought, every movement, every action. And it is our job to align with that. And life works. We all know, we all have been in that place of life working beautifully and flowing just beautifully and having just this gorgeous journey lay in front of us, and we walk on it. And then we walk over here and go, let's check over here. It's us that is separating us from them. I love the song, We're Never Alone. The first time I heard it, I cried like I cried today. Yeah. Because it states we are not alone. We're never alone. Whether we have somebody in our lives or not, no matter what's going on in our lives, we are not alone. We have that divine presence, that infinite power in the universe. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. And it's a beautiful phrase, because wanting means that we haven't got it. Wanting means that it's either down the road, or it may or may not come, or it's on the way. But if I don't want and know that the divine is giving it to me, whatever it is, that relationship, that love, knowing that it is right here, the infinite power in the universe is at hand, right here. And it is ours to use, to stand in, to love, to have a fantastic, fabulous, glorious life in every area of our life. be in agreement with the divine. I love you all.
Thank you for that reminder, Paul. It's beautiful. We're going to sing I Release. This is an invitation to release anything that's outside of the divine in your life. There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the love of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was a hand. So now I can say if you're feeling discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you just gotta let it go, gotta let it go. And this is what you have to say: I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
I'm only here as God, right? No separation. God is that spirit that dwells within me. And we're at the offering part of our service. And as I'm sitting here just listening to Paul's inspirational talk, Reverend Paul, and of course the beautiful lilting music coming from Ginger's fingers and her beautiful vocals, I had an idea, because we call this part of the service offering, and I thought to myself, this is really about reciprocity, right? And when I was at the Seeding the Light gathering a few weeks ago, we talked about that, the concept of Ayni in the Peruvian shamans, AYNI. And what that means is reciprocity. And if we think about our lives, we're always in a place of giving and receiving. It's always back and forth, always back and forth. And so that's where we are at this moment, and actually every moment, right? Because we're always giving forth of our energy and our love and our kindness, and we're receiving that back, aren't we? So, here we are at the financial reciprocity part of our service, and that's really no different than any other area of our lives where we're giving and moving and receiving and loving. So I invite all of you to just tap into your heart. What I'm finding more and more with myself when I make decisions about giving, whether it's money or time or talent, it just pops up from within. And, you know, Reverend Paul was talking about being in agreement with the divine. It's really the divine within, right? When we're in that place of peace and harmony with that divine presence. And when we're really in that place, it's a place of stillness. And that's where intuition comes forth. That's where our divine messages come through to us. And I find for myself, oftentimes, you know, I hear like a message, like give $50 or give $10 or whatever it is. You know, it's not about the amount, but I get an inspiration that comes to me to do this or do that, whether it's about money or whether it's about anything else. So I invite each and every one of you to be in a place of reciprocity, not only in this moment, but in every moment of your lives, and especially in your interactions with everyone else around you. Because again, we're all one, right? Thank you.
So now, if you follow in your bulletin, the blessing of our offering. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and give it to thee in gratitude and joy, knowing that as I give, I do receive.
Thank you.
I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Hello. Ah, there we are. I wasn't supposed to say, what I was supposed to say is I express deep love and appreciation for each and every one here today, present in this room and here with us in our Zoom room community. We know that these gifts and tithes today are expressions from the heart of each and every one of us. And in this gratitude and this deep appreciation for the love and the kindness and the respect and the harmony and the peace and the beauty that is the heart of each and every one of us, that is the truth of this community, we all say together, thank you, and so it is. Did we do the
As I've stated thousands of times, this is one of my favorite points in the service. And I don't think we've got anybody here for the first time. We do have a couple people who haven't been here in a little while. So if you guys would stand up. Come on, Preston. There you go. There you go. And Joe. Yes, absolutely. So you guys stand and receive. All right? And all the rest of us are going to put our hands up, as we already know, and repeat after me. Welcome to the Center for Conscious Living. We are a heart-centered spiritual community. We open ourselves to you in love. We recognize the perfection of God within you. We celebrate the joyous being that you are. You are a radiant point of light. We are blessed by your presence. Welcome home. Thank you.
This is the part of the service where I get to thank those of you who are in service to this community this morning. And first and foremost, Reverend Paul, thank you for a really beautiful talk, inspiring, and for sharing your personal experiences with your brother, because we all have personal experiences. So thank you. Let's give a thank you to Reverend Paul. And of course, Ginger. Words really can't express how grateful we are to Ginger, so I'm just going to say thank you. It's very deep and profound gratitude. And Norman. Norman is doing double service this morning. Thank you for the beautiful reading, and he's on camera serving our Zoom community this morning as well. Thank you, Norman. And Jane and Bob were here early this morning doing setup. Thank you, Jane and Bob. And the beautiful altar we see behind us is a creation of Kay. Thank you, Kay. Kay is doing double duty as well this morning. She's ushering as well, along with Chris DeBloy back there. Thank you, Chris. And Peggy King on refreshments. Thank you, Peggy. And I saw Keturah sort of walking in the back of the room and dropping something on the table as well. So thank you, Keturah, for the potluck consciousness. And Lisa Source is, she's one of our practitioner students, and she's a very devoted and loving member of our community who lives in Florida. And she is on pastoral support, serving the Zoom community this morning. So let's give a thank you to Lisa. I don't know if you can see her up there. Nope. And then our media team, Marty is our team leader. Thank you, Marty, for pulling everything together. And Reverend Paul is also always circling around the media team. And Norman has joined as an ad hoc member this morning on camera. So thank you, all of you. Yeah, Wayne and Catherine, Reverend Catherine, are away this week. So he's, he's here in spirit, but these three are really carrying the show this morning. I channeled my inner Wayne. I think Marty did too, because everything seems to be working beautifully. So thank you. All right, we've been announcing for a few weeks that the annual Music for the Soul concert is coming up on September 13th, and all of our musicians are there. We have 5 different entities. Ginger will be there, Deb, Dale, Stephen Wise, and Miss Marcy will be there with Will. Jan has another engagement that evening, but I really encourage you to check your newsletter, which comes out every week, and also you can check our website, the homepage of our website. There are links in both of those places for you to register. And of course, you can always call or email the office if you don't want to do it electronically. Some of us prefer the old-fashioned way, but we'll register you any way you like. You can even come and talk to us after service, and that includes Reverend Paul. Speaking of Reverend Paul, he's really chairing that effort to put together the concert. We have a committee that includes Andy Daniels and Jody as well, and Melissa and John Fulmer, and I've joined the committee too. So, always. We do have some in-service volunteer opportunities concerning the concerts. So if you're interested in helping out, please speak to Reverend Paul. Oh, right, there's sign-up lists in the back. But the two opportunities are to help with the setup and the management of the concert, and also the refreshment team. So we're doing a bit of a potluck. We have ordered some refreshments, but we're adding to that with potluck. So please either sign up in the back or speak to Reverend Paul or me, and put that on your calendar, because it was a rousing success last year. And you know, the point of it is to bring our community together, to bring all of us together in joy and in love. But there's a second point, and that is really to honor and celebrate all of our musicians who are here throughout the year, bringing such beauty and such joy to each of us. So I hope you can make that. Okay, what else do I have here? Yes, we have foundations class starting soon, September 10th to December 17th. And most of you in this room, I think, have probably taken foundations. You're invited to join the class again and as an audit, or those of you who have not taken it, it's a very deep, personal, spiritually expanding experience, not only personally within oneself, but when we're in a class that with a group of us who are all doing the work together, the deep spiritual work, we really become deep, loving, lifelong friends. And that has happened to me, and I know it has happened to many of you. So check your newsletter. You can sign up at the link on your newsletter, also on our website. Again, September 10th, the class starts. And it's ending early this year, before the holidays, December 17th. Oh, the picnic, CCL picnic. Marty has reserved a place for us on September 21st, so it's the Saturday after the concert, and it's in Smithville Park in, I guess that's East Hampton, and it's right near the Butterfly Garden. That's where our reservation is. It's a beautiful park. I go there a lot myself. I used to walk my dog there several times a week. It's just a beautiful park, and I invite you to speak to Reverend Paul. He's very much involved in the organization of that, as is Marty, and join us. It's a potluck picnic, and it's just a lot of fun. Games, bring your musical instruments, shorts and flip-flops, and let's have a lot of fun. The next thing I want to talk about is just to sort of update you a little bit on the transition that's happening at CCL right now. We've been talking about it as the senior minister transition, but it's actually a lot more than that. It's really a CCL organizational transition. So I just want to give you some updates. I did announce last week that Reverend Ken Davis has joined our ministry team as our Zoom room moderator. So there he is. There he is. And his wife, Renee, his beautiful wife, Renee, is with him, and she'll be assisting him at times. Many of you have heard Reverend Ken's talks. He does speak here periodically. He's a deeply spiritual being. And speaking of foundations class, that's when I first met him, because we did foundations together, and we are just lifelong friends from that experience. So we want to thank Reverend Ken and also Renee for really stepping up and joining our ministry team. Yeah. Just a couple of things that are happening that some of you may have noticed and some of you may not have noticed, but I've taken a greater role and responsibility in the daily prayer ministry. Reverend Catherine has been, she really created that ministry and has been sort of officiating as the minister there for the past couple of years, but I'm stepping in more and more now. And ultimately that, that's a senior minister responsibility. Another thing that's happening is I am, as of this month, committed to doing 2 talks on Sunday service. So I was doing 1, and this month I'll be doing 2. I did 1 last week, and then I'll be speaking again next week. So I invite you to come back and join me, support me in that. Just everything that's happening here on Sunday morning, ultimately, that's the senior minister's responsibility, and I've been stepping in more deeply and more fully into managing that as Reverend Catherine steps back. So that's one of those functions that may not be so visible, but it's happening behind the scenes, and a lot of this transitional activity really is happening behind the scenes. And, back in February, when we were talking about a transitional plan, you as a community had indicated that you'd like things to be gradual and to flow harmoniously. So that's the intention here, and that is what is happening. At least it feels that way to me. Another thing that's happening is you may have noticed that Reverend Marlene hasn't been at service for the past few weeks, and she is still very much with us, but she is stepping away from some of her ministerial responsibilities, and will be stepping away from some of her office responsibilities just because of changes in her life and things that she needs to take care of in her own personal space. So I just wanted you to be aware of that, and just ask all of us to really just be in love and friendship with Reverend Marlene, and with all of the changes that are taking place here, knowing that it's always, always in perfection. Again, I just wanted to recognize our 2 co-leaders of the Stewardship Council, June Hammond here, and also Lauren Welke, who she may be on Zoom right now, I'm not sure. Lauren, are you here with us? No, I guess she's not. But they were elected. Reverend Paul was the interim president of the Stewardship Council, which is our board, beginning in January up until June, and actually till July. And at the July board meeting, June and Lauren were elected as our new co-presidents. So they are a team now leading our board. And so we just had a board meeting last week, and so they had their first board meeting, and they're really a dynamic duo. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes in terms of creating greater stability in administrative operations and just foundational processes that will benefit CCL going forward, and will really strengthen CCL as an organization. And I'm really grateful for that, because I've worked in nonprofits for 25 years, and I really value that stability, and I know it's essential to expand our ministries here. Okay, so that's what's happening behind the scenes. So thank you, June, and thank you, Lauren, thank you, Paul, for your service. Paul is still our vice president, so he's very much a presence on the board. Just a quick note about Mini Mondays. They're taking a brief summer hiatus, and they'll be back October 7th. Reverend Ken will be giving a mini Monday, or maybe it will be about money, I don't know, presentation on Intro to A Course in Miracles. So I invite you to just pay attention as we move through September. We'll be starting that again in October. A quick mention of a new All CCL, sort of a master link, and Wayne really had created this, and it's a way that we can just click on one link and get into all CCL's electronic places. So our YouTube channel, our Instagram account, our Facebook account. There's some other things too. Zoom link for Sunday services, so links are there as well. So that link, that master link, is in your newsletter. So this is an encouragement for you to be sure to read your newsletters every week. Comes in your mailbox Wednesday through Friday, so generally on Thursdays. Sometimes there's video reels, there's community event invitations from our members, and of course links to the most recent services as well. CCL calendar, we have men's group tomorrow evening. If you've never been to men's group and you'd like to join, speak to Reverend Paul or Norman in the back there. This is a group that's been running for a long, long time. Yeah. 25, 30 years. So obviously it's very successful, and obviously I don't know much about it more than that. And that's the way it should be, right? So we don't believe in separation, but there's a little bit of separation there.
But that's earthly separation.
It's earthly separation. Okay, what else? Just a reminder about, that link that I mentioned. If you're interested in previous talks, last week I talked about love, beauty, and the I Am presence, and you can tap into that link through your newsletter. Reminder about live prayer, 12 o'clock, Tuesday through Friday. And again, that link is in your newsletter. Anything else? I think we're good here. I feel like I forgot something. Let me just look at my, there's a note in our newsletter from our treasurer, John Fulmer, just expressing gratitude for your gifts and your tithes over the past few months, because our financial situation is, it's expanding and it's growing. And, we know that we're always in a place of abundance and expansion. So I encourage you, again, go back to your newsletter and read John's note. One last thing, just CCL has a contract with the community center here, and we have an agreement that we need to exit the building, not just the room here, but the building by 12 noon. So we're really endeavoring to be more honoring of that agreement for the benefit of the community center and the staff that's here, really supporting us. So if someone, a volunteer or somebody comes and asks you to please leave, I just want you to be aware that it's in that spirit of trying to honor our agreement with the community center. And one last thing, our dear Fergie came to me with a very special a charitable offering of love. And I'm not going to say much more about it than that. So I would just refer you to Fergie, because Fergie lives from her heart always. And you can talk to her during the fellowship hour. Thank you.
One more thing. I've said this to Reverend Christina personally about what a marvelous, loving, beautiful job she has been doing. And please, I wanted you to have an opportunity to do that. You are stepping into this beautifully, honorably. Your consciousness is so beautiful. Your interactions are wonderful, loving, collaborative. And I just really, I love you, and I'm just so proud of you and so excited to be in this with you.
Speaking of long relationships, Paul and I go well back too. We were in practitioner training together and then ministry school training. So a lot of loving long-term relationships in this community, and we all have them. So we honor that as we circle up, let's honor each other and celebrate.
All right, as we've been doing, we're going to throw a little swing on this peace song. All right, the circle is connected. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be, with God as our power, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
There we go. There we go. There we go. So feeling this presence, this love that is palpable, giving thanks for it, giving thanks for everyone here, everyone on Zoom, everyone that's a member of CCL, giving thanks for this chance to get together and love and share and be. Giving thanks to Reverend Christina for stepping up and being the consciousness for CCL, being that presence. Giving thanks for Ginger and her beautiful music. Giving thanks for all of us, for if any one of us were not here, it would not be the same. We are glorious expressions of God, and I give thanks for that. I give thanks for all of us flowing in the divine and affirming that connection, saying yes to God through this whole next week so that our lives are perfect, that we are in agreement with the divine through this whole week. So we live fully from that space of the divine, and we have a wonderful week until we gather together again next week. We give thanks for this beautiful life that we live, for the divine that supports and loves us, for each other. And together we say, and so it is.
So we get to affirm once more. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my feelings.
Life is in my feelings.
And life is in all of my activities.
Life is in all my activities.
I receive it.
I receive it.
I share it.
I share it.
I am it. And I accept it.
And I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
And accepting all of these gifts, we say,